Okay, I did a lot today. So, um, first things first, I swung Palantir and Nvidia. So you can see overnight, this was the previous day close, and we gapped. Most of the market gapped. We gapped what, $1.20-ish. Um, I actually expected more, and I expected my contracts to do better on that gap. To be fair, I was in the 125s because Palantir can really run, and that's my final target, right? Which is the weekly mag. You can see here on the week, we trigger this 3-2 on the week, and this is my target. Um, Obviously didn't get there, and it was just some really strange price action. Um, my contracts would like up 16% and then immediately down 60 something percent. And so I just ended up getting out quite quickly with like a small percentage. Let me look. Yeah, I got out with a 18% gain, which was just like this 5 minute candle, which was, it was crazy. Volatility obviously was all over this morning. So yes, not in love with how Palantir went. Nvidia, I swung these, much more pleased with what happened. You can see here on the day that we closed down here and we opened up here. Obviously, that's great. Took my profit. For some reason, I traded next week contracts, which I'm less pleased about. That's really not my thing. I've been kind of playing with the idea of buying time. Don't love it because these contracts did. I got out somewhere on this 5 minute wick. Contracts did like 360%. I don't know how high they went. That was the profit that I took. If I had weeklies, that could have been in the 700s, probably more. So yeah, not in love with that strategy, but that's okay. Still learning. Okay, from that point, I was a little quiet because people were really in the chat talking about like the market's gonna dump, like we're gonna gap and crap, and I wasn't quite on board with that, and so I was really looking to long things, and so I didn't have much to say this morning. The short that I did shout was Amazon inside 5, and the reason why I took this was because my bias was long, right? And I know that I had to have some sort of TTO to get my momentum back up to the upside. So what I did was I took this fiver on Amazon. This was just to make baby money. Took this fiver on Amazon to ADR and got out right when it hit ADR. It was like a 20% trade. Because again, I'm looking for the long side. So I mentioned that I was just going to set alerts and move on. I got a question from someone whose name I can't remember. I think it's Unreal. About where I had my alerts. So I told them I had my alert set on the 15, and I was just watching Amazon. I was watching Amazon and Nvidia. Let me pull it up. Yeah. So here. I don't know if you can see this. So here, right? Amazon inside 15. And then I said that inside 15 on Nvidia feels like a trap. So I was waiting on the 30s and 60s, right? So first of all, Amazon. Here is where I had my alert. Because again, I wanted to long things. Oh, I guess I'm going a little bit out of order. I did take a short on SPY. Right? It was like an inside 5. No, sorry. I took a long on SPY. Yeah. And it was this inside 5, but it didn't really go. And I'm playing 0 day, so like I think I took like a 10% loss on it. Okay, back to Amazon. So again, I want a long, so I had my stop that. I had my alerts set for that to happen. And here is that inside 15. And I also mentioned, right, like if you go back, that I didn't have enough information at this time of day to take this long, right? This inside 15, the 30 is still inside, the hour is still red as hell, and I just didn't have enough information, right? So I don't take this, I just watch it happen, and then I wait for this inside 30, right? So I take this inside 30. Amazon flips the month green, and then it comes back in, right? It can't get to high of day, which indicates to me we're not going anywhere. So I got out somewhere here, likely on a $5 when it came back through the month. Yeah. So I got out here on Amazon when this 5 went against me. So come on. This was my exit. Okay. Again, these are base hit trades. This was like a 15% return on that trade. And you know, I'm fine with a base hit, like it is what it is, right? And so at that point, I also mentioned I was looking at Nvidia and it looked a bit like a trap on the 15. So where is that? Nvidia was making, and I'm still live trading, so 1 second. Okay. Nvidia was doing this little 1-2 on the 15, right? So this inside 15, this is what I was saying looked like a trap. This trigger here. It's gonna say weekly, but just this is a 15. So this trigger here was a trap. So when I say this, oh man, I'm losing my place. Yeah, the inside 15 of it feels like a trap, so I'll wait for 30-60s. That's what I'm talking about. Come on. This short felt like a trap. So what I do, I waited like I said I would, and we have a 1-2-2 on the 15, and also I have this inside 30. So I take this when it triggers, and I'm just kind of hanging out because again I have a long bias. I want to long things, and I just kind of wait. Triggers my 30, comes back in, then re-triggers my 30, so I'm not too concerned about it. And to be honest with you, my Nvidia trade today was so lucky because some news came out about Nvidia, hit my target, and it just sort of did its little thing. And I mean, you can see I have other targets up here. And I got out again on a 5. I don't even think that I waited for this 5 to close, which is against most of my rules, but at this point of the day, I was still looking here, right? I still have all of this up. I was still looking at SPY, and SPY was doing some little funny shit. So I didn't want to risk it. So that is where I was with that. And then I flipped to looking at shorts because SPY did this, right? This shooter 15, Q's had a shooter 15, and that was an indicator that I could be, pardon me, I could be on the wrong side of things. So I simply just flip short. SPY, clear short. Also, I think I mentioned I got into a SPY long. This move on SPY, it didn't move the way that I wanted it to. I think, I can't remember my entry, but it did like 30 something %, and it should have been more based off of, man, I can't remember my entry on SPY, but I did take a long, and I saw that it just wasn't moving the way that a 0-day should, which also gave me trepidation. So that's also why I entered a short. And I just entered it here. Like, this was a pretty obvious 15er that triggered the 30, that put in the 30 and then triggered 30, and we just went down. And even this was like fine, but I expected a lot more percentage return in that. but I did take that. And I also took Microsoft, thanks to the shout in the chat. I missed the original Microsoft. It was on the 15. Come on. This obvious shooter, missed it. Sucks. So, you can see that I have an entry there. This is my ideal entry. Don't take it. So I have to wait on something that's much less ideal. Which I wanted a 5-minute TTO. That didn't happen. And so I just had to take this trade because I knew it was going down, right? Like I mentioned that in the chat. Like this thing wants to go down. I hope I get a 5-minute TTO. This entry is like completely incorrect. I think I entered like here on the 30. And yeah, it did. It took low of day, which was great and fine. The issue I'm having right now with Microsoft is they're buying it up every time you have a new low, right? Low of day, bought it up, new low of day, bought it up, new low of day, double bottoms, and comes back up. So I'm not in Microsoft anymore, but this was a decent trade, very fun, and great. I also want to talk about Palantir. I may do an individual video about Palantir. Yeah. But yeah, that's what I did today. A little bit hectic. Really sad I missed Tesla. Oh, I traded cost because of Maria. I also missed my original entry on cost, which would have been this beautiful Inside 15. I missed it, but I was hawking it because of what she said in the chat. And I got in on this 15. I love to play cost. It is spready, it is expensive, but it is a fun time. And yeah, I'm in the 10/10s for this week. And that is that. Cost is doing well. Likely won't get out unless I get a 30 against me. Okay, so that is most of what I traded today. I am going to get back into Amazon at some time. I just want to play it for earnings. It's a YOLO. Don't suggest it. Yeah, pretty sad I missed Tesla, but you know, you can't catch them all. And that's where we are at. Nvidia, I got in and out of this thing a couple of times for some shorts and then some longs and back and forth. I can't remember every move I made on this, but I know that I shouldn't trade that way. And obviously if you zoom out, this is not a zoom out, but if I look at it like this, I'm trading within these lines. This is consolidation. That's dumb. And if you zoom out on higher time frames, still, right? And the more you zoom out, the more you'll see that you're likely trading inside of a tightening range. And you have this double inside 2 hour. So took baby losses and break even stops on Nvidia, so nothing to really talk about. But I know I shouldn't trade that way. And so I'm gonna have to stop doing that. Let me look at this. So I actually don't know right now. I'm looking at all of this and I'm unsure about this price action, so I'm not going to take another trade today. Because even looking at Nvidia on the day, yeah, I think I wanted the weekly trigger and it did. Okay, yeah. So yeah, I hit my target. No need to get back in that today. Friday's a new day. Okay, that's it.